Hi guys, so today I have my best of 2016 eyes and lips. I already did face and some like body care, skincare in my previous video, so I'll link that below if you're interested. I had to split it up because I have too much stuff to talk about. Last year I approached this by picking like my top 15 across the board, across everything. This time I was like, there's too much to talk about. I'm just gonna pull anything that I fell in love with this year. It might have launched this year, it might not have, but you know, doing it this way means there's way more to talk about, so I had to split this into two videos. I will link in the description bar as well any pertinent videos that I talk about where I reviewed any of this stuff this last year. So I feel like the best of face is fun, but it's more like, okay, here's what works and here's why it doesn't and blah blah blah. Whereas I feel like eyes and lips are where we really get to have a lot of fun. This is where we really get to be creative, we really get to play a lot, and so this to me is like really exciting. Right off the bat, I did do a best top 5 permanent palettes video earlier this year, so I did like full swatches of all these palettes, not all of these, but a couple of these, and really delved into them really deeply. For these palettes, I cannot swatch every color in every one of these palettes, so I will overlay, you know, a close-up of the palette and kind of a few swatches of my favorite shades. But let's start out with this. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. This is permanent, part of their chocolate line. This is the one with the little heart-shaped pans. I don't have the other two palettes. I used to own one of them. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I really like this one. So you have a lot of neutrals. As you know, Too Faced is kind of the same usually. A lot of really nice browns and then a few pops of color. But I really like this one. I feel like this is a really nice mix. You can create some really beautiful neutral looks, and you can create some nice pops of color as well. One of my favorite things to do is take this purple shade here and do an all over the lid purple eye with it, like a smoky purple eye. It's actually what I wore on New Year's Eve, and I really like that shade a lot because it's got a little bit of glitter in it. But this palette is one of my favorites from this year. Another one in my top 5 permanent palettes, and it's definitely a standout this year, is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I haven't watched too many best of videos this year because I didn't want to like color my own thoughts, but I did watch a few, and this is popping up in a lot of them. And this is just your beautiful warm toned palette. Love. These are all super pigmented, so blendable. It actually blows my mind how blendable these are, and yet you don't lose the pigmentation when you're blending them. They're so gorgeous. Look at what you get, you know, that's one swipe, one pass. I'm so glad that she came out with a permanent palette because I really love the World Traveler palette from the previous year, but that was limited edition, so I couldn't really keep talking to you guys about it and keep using it, even though I love it. I really love her shadows, really love the formula. I think they're awesome. So one that was limited edition this year, I'm pretty sure, but I also am pretty sure it's still available, is the Ciate Pretty Fun and Fearless palette. This is the Chloe Morello collaboration palette. I don't like to buy a ton of limited edition stuff for my channel just because it's really hard to continue talking about it through the year, and I don't get sent things, so it's difficult for me to purchase all these things myself. But when I first saw even the pictures of this online, I knew I needed it. It's so gorgeous. These mattes in this palette are so silky and smooth and pigmented again, and they just blend super well. I just used this one today on my eyes, not on the lid, but just in my crease and kind of for blending out shades and all that kind of stuff. I did a whole video on this one, demoing it, swatching it, all that kind of stuff. The lid shades, I will say, like the sparkly lid shades, they are slightly temperamental. They do much better with Fix Plus wet than they do dry on their own, and you do need a synthetic brush to apply them with. But overall, I really love this palette. The packaging is so pretty on it too. One drugstore formulation that shocked me this year is the Essence palette. They have these All About palettes. So I have All About Roses. They have All About Nudes, All About Goldens, and a few other ones, but when I first got this, I was so blown away. I talked about it for like a solid month in the middle of the summertime. So pretty. This one obviously is like purple, cool tones, kind of grayish, a few pinks in here. But the mattes in here are like surprisingly beautiful and blendable and pigmented. This was $5.99, you guys. like $5.99, drugstore, beautiful. But then some of the bright lid shades, like look at that. Absolutely incredible what you can do with a palette like this. So I did use this in a tutorial, really loved the pretty look I got out of this, and I have used this quite a lot. I don't know if it's still available. It might be, it might relaunch, who knows? Who knows with Mariah and her issues. That New Year's Eve thing, I felt really bad for her about that. Anyway, okay, so this is the MAC Mariah collaboration. This palette is the It's Everything eyeshadow times 4 palette. First time I used this chunky glittery shade, it was so standout to me, I could not stop talking about it. I use this over glitter glue, like the Too Faced glitter glue primer, and I think you really need to because it is very, very chunky. But the looks that I've gotten out of this little palette here are so stunning. Like you can see, this is a little bit chunky when I swatch it, but absolutely beautiful. I have not received more compliments on an eyeshadow look this entire year than I did with this palette. So hopefully it will relaunch. More drugstore goodness. These Milani shadows are so beautiful. These are the Everyday Eyes palettes. This one is Bare Necessities. This one is Earthly Elements. I really do want to get more of these, but I don't, you know, I don't need them. So every time I see them in the drugstore, I'm like, I want that, but I kind of stop myself because these two are kind of good enough for now. This one is obviously very warm toned, very beautiful. The satins in here are really gorgeous. Like they are really metallic and pretty, absolutely pretty. But then the mattes, like this beautiful orange, you're still getting a ton of pigment in it, and they do blend so well. These are $12.99 here in Canada. I think they're like $9.99 in the States. You cannot go wrong with these. These are just standout eyeshadows. NARS launched these, what do they call them? Hardwire eyeshadows in the fall. This one is in the shade Stud. This is actually a relaunch of a shade that came out last year, but I picked it up this year and I really love this. This is like a metallic taupey shade. So pretty for all over the lid. It's very metallic. It's got a lot of like shimmer to it. I've loved this, worn this to death this year. I picked up these Infallible shadows for the first time this year from L'Oreal. This one is in the shade Amber Rush. It's a very famous shade. It did not launch this year. You know, again, these are things that I fell in love with this year, not necessarily that came out this year. But this is so gorgeous. Again, all over the lid. When I got this, I could not stop using it. Look at that. It is so beautiful. More pressed pigment eyeshadows, but at a much higher price point. These are the Armani Eyes to Kill shadows. Again, not new, but I found them for the first time this year. I have number 8 and number 5. I really want to get more of these. Number 8 is actually what I have on my eyes today. And number 5 is like this really beautiful gold metallic shade. Very, very pigmented, of course, because they are pressed shadows. Very metallic, so much sheen to them. Beautiful shades for all over the lid, for sure. They have a little bit of fallout. You should probably do your eyes first if you're using these, but the payoff is absolutely incredible. That's it for eyeshadow formulas and palettes that I fell in love with this year, but I did discovered this brush from MAC. It's the 242 brush. Again, not new, but new to me. This is really essential, in my opinion, for picking up those pressed pigment type shadows. Anything chunky, anything glittery, anything you need to spray Fix Plus on, but you don't have to, but like any type of shadow like that, this is going to be your best friend. It just picks it up perfectly. It applies it perfectly. It's gonna get it on your lid as pigmented as it looks in the pan. Really love this brush. As for brows, I can't remember if I found this year. I think I did. Anyway, this is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. I think these launched in the spring, if I remember right. I did use dark brunette for the majority of the year, and then I just got to feeling like it was a little too dark on my eyebrows. And then I switched to regular brunette, which is what I'm wearing on my brows today, which I think is a much better shade match for me. You guys, this is absolutely just as good as the Brow Wiz. The spoolie is good. It's not, the spoolie is not as good as the Brow Wiz spoolie, but it's definitely usable. It's really, you know, it's perfectly fine. But the actual product itself, the micro tip on this side, is absolutely as good as the Brow Wiz. You don't have to pay that high price tag. The only downside is there's only 3 shades in this. I really wish they would come out with more because that product is so good for the drugstore. 2 brow gels that I really love. The Gimme Brow in shade number 1 I've been using a lot. This is a sample size, but I did get like the full size. It's got the little tiny brow brush in it, which fits perfectly in there. Doesn't flake, doesn't fall out. It has those fibers to give your eyebrows a little bit more volume, and this is the Essence version of this. It's the Gimme Brow. This only comes in 2 shades. I actually think this shade might be a little dark for me after using it for quite a long time, but I really love the result. Like, the fibers in it are really good. It's got a very, very similar little brush on it, and it's way, 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 way cheaper. Also brows, this Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit. I actually got this for my birthday in 2015, but I didn't start using it until the spring of 2016. And I really like this brow powder. I really only use the bottom shade in here, but it gives you like such a good natural looking eyebrow. I really like this a lot. The little tools that it comes with are not the greatest, but I actually do like using this little brush that it comes with. You need a separate spoolie, which is my only major complaint with this, but the actual powder in here is like really nice. I don't know what the other one is like, but this one really suits me, and again, I'm getting a really kind of natural looking brow. As for eyeliners, I have a couple. For liquid eyeliner, this from Physicians Formula, the Eye Booster pen. I decided this year that I don't need to buy the Kat Von D one anymore because this does just as good of a job, way, way cheaper, and it just performs just as well as the Kat Von D one. Exact same brush on it too. This is what I'm wearing today. Really love this, and Physicians Formula always goes on sale. I talked this one to death over the last month, and I have put this in my makeup use up for 2017. This is the Estee Edit Inside Track Eye Kajal. It's got the brown on one side, it's called Bold Bordeaux. These are so ultra creamy. I really want to get more shades in this, but the reason I really love this is for this side. This has this shade called Urban Nude, and it's, again, so creamy and so brightening. I've been wearing this in my waterline so much since I got this. I'm definitely going to use this up this year. I just know it. And then for black waterline, this is the Ardency in Modster Smooth Ride Supercharged Eyeliner, just in the shade black. Again, super, super creamy, super black. Love how this glides. It doesn't stay in my waterline for a super long time because nothing does, but it stays longer than any other black eyeliner that I've tried. You guys know I bounce all over the board with mascaras. I do have a few favorites, but I don't usually stay within anything consistently because I really love testing things for my channel. But this is the year of the Better Than Sex mascara for me because I fell in love with this. I'm pretty sure this tube actually is done and I need to get rid of it, but I don't want to. I just want to keep hanging on to it. The packaging on this is so pretty, by the way, but the brush, I really love the shape of this brush. It's that hourglass shape. The formula of this is so good though, like it really is ultra lengthening and volumizing, and there's a reason that people talk about this all the time. It really is that good. I had originally tried a little sample size of this and I didn't like it, and then I decided to try the actual full size and I loved it. So if you've tried this in the sample size and you didn't love it, maybe you thought it was too dry, try maybe purchasing the full size. It's in my top 3 for sure of mascaras ever. For lashes, there's 2 that really stood out to me this year. You guys know I don't love spending a ton on eyelashes. I haven't really tried a lot of mink eyelashes, but these 2 I really love. And so apologies, I have used both of these, so they're kind of like falling all over the place. So I'm gonna hold it this way so you can kind of see it better. These are from Ardell. These are the 162s. I love these. I really love the Demi Wispies from them, but these 162 I feel like just give a little bit even more drama than the Demi Wispies. And then these ones are the Sephora House of Lashes collaboration lashes in Everlasting. They did 3 different kinds. These are the only ones I really liked. They're actually in the wrong spot, please excuse that, but they are kind of like Demi Wispies in the shape, except they are like really wispy. They kind of go all over the place, and I really like that. I feel like it's a little bit more natural looking, but you're getting a ton of like volume as well. So that's it for eyes. Let's move on to lips. I have two lip liners to talk about, one drugstore and one very high-end option. The high-end option is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. I'm actually wearing this today. I love this lip liner. I have put such a big dent in it already. I use it so consistently. The color is so like perfectly pinkish nude, so it goes with so many different things. It's really good for slightly overdrawing your lips, which I really don't do that often, but when I bust this one out, I tend to do it because it looks so good. This one here I really like too. This formula is so great. It's the NYX Slide On Glide On and 10 other words in the name, which I'm not going to say because I refuse, because it's so annoying. But anyway, Slide On Glide On, and this is in the shade Bed Rose. It's kind of a similar shade to Pillow Talk, only a little bit more pink. That's it right there on that side. And again, very beautiful formula. It just does glide on and it feels very nice on the lips. So not new by any means, but the year of the Anastasia lipstick to me, like the liquid lipstick. This is the year I discovered them. This is the year I started obsessing over them. I have two other shades somewhere. I can't remember where I put them. I need to search for them. But I wear these so consistently, especially Crush and Dolce, which are kind of the more nudie ones. These two are pretty, but they are a little bit deeper, and you guys know I tend to stick a little bit more nude in what I'm wearing. But I love these. Now, I know some people don't. Some people find they're drying. I actually find them very comfortable, but to each their own, I guess. I find certain types drying that other people don't. So you just kind of have to find your formula and then kind of stick within it, I think. Find something you really like and stick in that little box. Very similar, I think, to the Anastasia ones is... Oh, I don't want to answer your call, no. 3, 2, 1. Very similar to the Anastasia ones, I personally think, are the Sephora House brand collection. This is in the shade number 13, which I think is their most popular. It's this very kind of dusty mauve-y rose shade right there. Now they just launched a ton of new shades. They now have, I think, 40 different shades. And I did haul 5 new ones, which I just haven't had a chance to test or use or anything lately. So I still haven't tried them out on my lips, but I love this formula. I have another one of these again. The theme here is each one of these things, I think I don't have my entire like shade collection because I love them so much. They're like in purses and they're at work and they're in various places around my life. So that's why I don't have all the shades with me to show you. But this formula, again, super comfortable, really like it. It's not patchy, they're very opaque, really like them. Very affordable too for like a Sephora brand. Last of the matte liquid lipsticks I'm going to talk about are the Bare Minerals Gen Nude. I know a lot of bloggers and YouTubers were very lucky to be sent the entire Gen Nude collection. Of course, I had to go buy them myself. The thing about these is the formula is just really nice. I'm wearing this one today called Juju. Now, you can see it does not dry completely transfer proof. It will kind of rub off a little bit, but it's pretty matte. Like that's almost all lip liner. There's almost no lipstick in there. So, you know, it's going to be very long lasting. It's not transfer proof, but it's definitely transfer resistant. And the shades are all very pretty. I'm wearing, did I say Juju today? That's this one here. These smell like chocolate milkshakes, which I really like. So they're very comfortable, you know. That's the whole thing with liquid lipsticks in me. Like, I need them to be comfortable. If they're too drying, I can't even with them. For the most part, I'm probably going to be wearing regular lipsticks most of the time. And this year launched the Kate Moss Rimmel Nude Collection. Again, I'm missing one. It's somewhere else. This is shade number 42 and 43. Again, there's like 6 different shades in this line. They're all very similar, all very nude. But you can find one that works for you, I'm sure, because there's a bunch of options. Like you can see here, this one's more pink. This one's a little bit more on the yellowy side. So just figure out what works for your skin tone. The scent on these, I don't love it, but I can get over it. But I wear these a lot. Like, I usually bring one of these to work and stick it in my pocket while I'm working. So I've been using these consistently. Really love the formula. It is pretty long wearing for being like a creamy nude, but super comfortable, obviously. The very last lip product is the NARS Velvet Lip Glide. That was hard to get out for some reason. Again, one of them is gone because I use it all the time. I think it's at work. Anyway, this is in the shade Playpen. Bound is the other one. It's a very kind of beautiful nudie rose, you know, mauve shade. This one is a little bit more on the peach side. These are very, very silky. They're very plush. They're very gel-like. They're not going to be transfer proof at all. They're definitely more like a glossy type have but they do actually wear for a surprising amount of time. Once the gloss kind of wears away, you will still have color on your lips, provided you haven't been eating and drinking a ton of stuff. But they are very beautiful. They're super comfortable. They look really good on the lips. They really kind of make your lips look plump because they're nice and glossy. Really love those. I think NARS hit it out of the park with those. So there is my best of eyes and lips. Like I said, if you missed out on my foundations and face products, I'll link that one. You can go watch that one. Let me know what your favorites were from this year. Of course, like I said, it doesn't have to be something that just launched this year, but something that you just fell in love with this year, you just discovered this year. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You can click the link below, and you can also click the little bell if you want to be notified when I upload so that you don't miss any videos from me. And that is it for today. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.